Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Cancer placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Cancer, your energy was coming through so strongly through the Pisces reading, so that reading might have insights for you. I am filming this on the same day as Pisces. I wasn't planning on doing that, but after I did the Pisces reading, I went to go run a specific errand for someone, and it just it didn't feel right to do that at that time in the energy that I was in, because it kind of felt like I had to do this instead. And because there's a very it's not urgent, but it is a message that needs to be heard at this time, is how it's coming through. So I'm gonna pull. I have been using this Alchemy deck, which I am gonna use for you, and I have been also using I've been pulling cards out of the deck specifically that I've been seeing in my mind's eye. So from the Faeries deck, I was seeing List of the Shadows, but I didn't pull her out today because I feel like that's not your energy. I feel like that's an energy that's supporting you at this time. I feel like you're breaking through some sort of pattern of codependency. It feels like breaking through some sort of pattern of codependency. So we're going to pull cards from this deck just to get sort of a supporting energy. Yeah, Cancer. Okay. The Dark Lady. Yeah. This is an energy of endings, and releasing something. It's also a card about the subconscious mind, subconscious wisdom. It's actually even after the grief process of stillness and calm that comes after an ending of some sort. It kind of feels like for you, Cancer, there's this sort of acceptance that's coming through of some sort of tough energy or tough ending. I feel like part of the patterns that you may be breaking through are an energy of a victim mentality is how it's feeling to me, which is kind of coming through as being and it's coming through as being a pattern of that. So it's not saying that they're because of course bad things happen to everyone, right? And there are certain circumstances where someone has done you wrong in certain cases, but not to become stuck in that pattern of thinking that everybody is against you, or that it could be energies of self-pity, or things giving away your power to other people, or to try to blame somebody else for your circumstances, or things like that, right? So especially if there's things in your life right now perhaps that are not not working out for you in a way where it's I don't know, it feels kind of like just being conscious of accepting that the circumstances in your life right now are in your control, subconsciously perhaps, but part of the energy of healing that is to bring those energies up from the subconscious so that they can be looked at and dealt with, because this card talks about looking at the seeds or what has grown. Looking at what has grown in your life, and if what has grown in your life are weeds, are things that you don't want, then it's time to pluck those out. And I feel like it has something to do with either codependency or victim mentality, or or like perhaps like something about not taking responsibility for your own actions, or it could be sort of like blaming other people for things that have happened to you, or things like that. So that's sort of how it's coming through, Cancer. And I know that that's a tough message to hear. So if you're not ready to hear that, then this is not your reading. So I'm just going to leave it like that for the Dark Lady. It is a time of deep transformation, though, because I feel like whatever it is that the place that you are in right now, the energy that you are in right now with this energy coming out is saying that this is the beginning of something new. You haven't reached that beginning yet because you're still in the in-between of something where you've let something go, but you haven't quite reached the new beginning yet. And I feel like the new beginning part is going to come through for you when you have plucked out the weeds. And I feel like the weeds are coming through as being like energies where things that have grown or things that have manifested in your life that you did not choose, or that like things where it's like it didn't end the way that you wanted to, or it didn't, like there were like perhaps unhealthy dynamics or things like that are being revealed to you now. Like the unhealthy dynamics is how it's coming through, and dealing with them, right? Like either setting a boundary and being really firm on that, because that's where you find your power, as well as how it's coming through. The Dark Lady does talk about like sort of unconscious wisdom and power. Knowing what is inherently right for you is what's coming through here, because I feel like maybe there was an energy of deferring that knowledge to somebody else, like allowing other people to tell you what is right for you, or giving away your power by doing that in some way. This is the beginning, Cancer, of something really significant for you, because you've broken through and ended some sort of pattern of whatever it is. You decide what label you want to put for that. It was a pattern that wasn't serving you. And I feel like this because the Dark Lady comes out after a letting go process. So I feel like it's coming through like that. And then you have Soulless at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to pull cards from this deck as well. Obviously, the color red is very significant for your reading today. And orange as well is what I was seeing. I feel like you may be in this place of like asking for a sign, or like, it could be something like asking for a sign, or asking for help from the universe or something like that, or asking for guidance, or that kind of energy of asking, being open to that. I feel like the universe is going to show you a sign that I feel like you might not understand what it means yet. So it could be something really mundane, like a new synchronicity. It could be a new synchronicity, a new synchronistic kind of energy or symbol that's coming through for you. And I feel like, remember that, because it could be something where it's like you see this sign a lot within a short period of time. So whenever you're watching this, in the next couple of time is weird. Whenever you, like, for a short period of time, though, it feels like you're going to be bombarded with a particular symbol, is how it's coming through. You're going to be bombarded with that in a short period of time. and then that symbol's going to go away for a little bit, is how it feels. So you may be in this period of time where it's like you get bombarded by a really significant symbol, the magic is strong, synchronicity is really powerful, and then it goes away. It gets sort of like, it dissipates, or like you don't see that symbol as much anymore. It feels like a longer period of time, but eventually there's going to be a time in the future where you start seeing that sign a lot all of a sudden, where it like comes back around, right? And it's telling you that that's sort of signaling the end of whatever it is that you're manifesting right now. Because it kind of feels like there's this, like I've been seeing like the infinity sign for you, right? Like this energy of cycles, where I feel like there's this period of time where you're entering a period of time where it feels like clearing a lot of stuff out, right? Like seeing all the patterns that haven't been serving you and then clearing those out. And then there's going to be a time that reflects this sort of cleaning out energy, where like the first half of this cycle, however long it lasts for you, is going to be significant clearing out, where maybe there's a lot of things changing for you. But then after that, there's going to be another half of the cycle that's going to be the exact mirror opposite of what that is. So if you've been clearing a lot of things out in the first cycle, second half of the cycle is going to be filling it back in with better, more healthy, more positive manifestations. And so I feel like there's something here about like, right now, you're entering a period of cleaning things out in whatever way that is for you, right? Like in terms of magician energy, like magician energy, but it feels like shadow aspects of them, or not shadow. It doesn't feel like shadow. It feels like the opposite of creation, where it's like you're deconstructing things is how it's coming through. You're deconstructing patterns. It really feels strongly like that, like patterns of behavior, patterns of thought, patterns of emotional expression maybe, or emotional whatever, patterns within your physical environment as well, like that kind of thing. Deconstructing that's what it feels like. You're entering a period of deconstructing patterns of all sorts. And then the flip side, whenever that is for you, is going to be a pattern of reconstructing or creating magician energy. But you need both, right? Because you can't create something new from something that's already established. You have to break it down first. So that's sort of how it's feeling to me, Cancer. But like at the moment, there may even be energies here where it's like, if you come back to this reading, when you see, like, I feel like right now you are seeing a lot of synchronicities and symbols that are acting almost as like you know how you put like in, if you're going like on a hike or something, you can like, sometimes people would put like flags to like mark the way so that they don't get lost. It's feeling like that. You're seeing like flags or whatever, like symbols to mark your path. And there's going to be a reflection of that in the future at some point. And I feel like there's also something here about like, if you come back to this video at some point in the future, it will still resonate with you, because at this time, it's almost like I'm seeing you at the middle of the infinity sign. You're at the middle of the infinity sign. In order to traverse this cycle, you have to go this way. You come back to the middle, and then you go through the other side, and then back to the middle. So it's kind of like this moment in time, whenever that is going to resonate for you. Perhaps it maybe it's a past energy. Maybe something from the past is sort of resonating again. That's interesting. Maybe something from the past is resonating again in this moment, because I'm seeing you at the middle of the infinity. So something from the past is coming back around. That is tying something into the future, which is going to call back to this moment here, or this energy, or whatever it is. This reading maybe specifically, but it feels very much like it's tied to symbols in some way. So maybe there's a symbol from the past that you're seeing a lot of all of a sudden. And it's almost like that is announcing the start of the next part of the cycle, which feels like the reverse of what you had just come out of, is kind of how it's coming through. And it's going to be an energy of creation. I feel like you're going to see these symbols again repeated when you're finished this part of the cycle that you're about to enter. So it could be, take it how it resonates, because I feel like there's multiple ways this can be interpreted depending on who's watching the reading. Some of you are at the beginning of the beginning of a cycle where it's like you're going to be deconstructing a lot of patterns. Some of you have reached that point already where you have deconstructed a lot of patterns and you're about to enter the cycle of reconstructing new patterns or new whatever creations or blah blah blah. Or you could be at the cycle of like you've completed all of the things right now. You've completed all of the manifestations that this cycle has provided for you. I feel like that one's less so, but maybe just take it how it resonates. It's like a completion energy. All three are resonating, honestly. That's the point. It's kind of feeling like it's coming through with the word node. A node. Where there isn't any movement because you're at the center of something. Okay, Cancer, very interesting. Okay, no, I don't, they're saying not to use this die. Okay, I'm just going to go straight into the alchemy elementals. This Dark Lady card is also an energy of surrender. Surrender. Of letting go significantly to to some sort of pattern, it feels like. It could be an energy of despair. That's what's coming through here. Despair. There's something about this was like a quote or something, like a line in the most recent Matrix movie where Neil Patrick Harris's character, I can't remember exactly what he was. He was like a programmer or something, but saying that like despair and hope have the same code, have the same coding, which is interesting. So if you're in an energy of despair, you're in the energy of hope. It's the same thing, which is interesting because you can't have hope without despair, right? Hope only lives in the place where there's demons, right? That's how it's coming through, Cancer. There's an energy of feeling alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. You have support. I actually feel like there's a List of the Shadows energy, because that card comes through as being sort of like a social worker or somebody who who gives like really practical assistance to people who are in need. I feel like there's somebody like that coming in for you. It feels very like a physical person who's going to help in this period of time that you're in. That's how it's coming through. I don't know who that is for you. It feels more than just like this reading. It feels like there's something, like it's coming through with very practical assistance in some way. So it feels kind of like a physical assistance, like something in the physical that's going to help you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So fire, tribal fire, and earth. For those who have eyes to see and ears to hear the messages Gaia is sharing with the awakening ones, the time for stewardship is now. The earth gives to her children without asking anything in return. The tribal fires are now asking you to nurture our planet just as she nourishes you, to give selflessly to the mother just as she gives selflessly to you and to all her children. Gather your friends in your tribe and nature and give back. Nourish the earth's soil with compost and minerals. Plant seeds, pull weeds, feed the birds, thank the trees. Offer blessings and gratitude and love and appreciation. Our Mother Earth loves us so dearly. The more we replenish the earth, the more we replenish ourselves. It's an energy of grounding. It's an energy of grounding your energy. Saying the word energy too much. It's about grounding, connecting to the earth and giving back to the earth. Again, it feels very practical, Cancer. Perhaps there are sort of like practical things that you can take care of. I feel like there is perhaps like some area in your life that maybe you have been neglecting, is how it's coming through. In whatever way, but again, this is kind of coming through as being like pulling the weeds, tending to the garden, whatever that is. Like it feels like cleaning and deconstructing things, or organizing, or like figuring out what it is that you're keeping, what it is that you're getting rid of. It could be very practically. It could be just in your emotional energy or your mental. But of course, it feels like it's all interconnected, right? It's all connected. So the more you do something it feels very practical for you, Cancer. The more that you do something very practically, the more it assists in sort of the emotional energy, like releasing things, getting rid of things, cleaning something out. This energy is coming through with a lot of support, though. I feel like there are going to be people who are helping you with this. Like a circle of support. Water, river, sun. That's a beautiful card. And you have 8 again. So this card is 8. This is 26, which adds to 8. And you have 13 at the bottom of the deck, right? Which is interesting because, of course, 13 is the energy of death, right? But this is the Soulless card. So it feels kind of like, and now it's coming through with Soulless, like finding solace in something, right? Like finding peace about something. Like it's coming through very much with like a peaceful acceptance. And also, what I was saying with the 13 is that this 26 is double that, right? So it kind of feels like I was getting kind of this energy of like a wave, right? A wave. And the nodes are important in there as well. That like there's this energy of a valley here. There's an energy of a valley. I feel like that's where you're in, Cancer. That's how it's feeling to me. But if it's not that for you, then just take it how it resonates. But this is what's coming through. Because it could be, if you're reflecting back on the past, that may be, you may be reflecting back on the past energy where there was a valley, and it feels kind of like you're approaching a node, which in like a waveform, the nodes are where it's like it's neutral. That's how it's coming through. So I don't know. So again, take it how it resonates. It feels like it's going to be, this reading will resonate for you on 3 different times in your life. From the past, present, and future. Maybe you're coming out of a valley, is how it's coming through. For some of you, you are entering a valley. That's how it feels. Or that you're at the bottom of the valley or something like that. There's that kind of energy. The valley is being highlighted. The valley. The low point. So if you are there, you're on the upswing, is how it's coming through. There's an energy of being at the node. So maybe you're coming out of a period of the valley, but that it reminds you of when you started this journey. Maybe that's okay. So maybe who I'm reading for right now is in the middle. So not at the valley, right? You're coming out of the valley, it feels like, but because it feels like you're about to go up, you're about to go into the second half of the cycle, it's reminding you of when you were in the valley, is how it's coming through. Reminding you of when you were in the valley, but you're about to come out of it, is how it's coming through. So it may be that there's this energy here of like being reminded of something that from the past that was really difficult, because you're about to enter the abundant part of the cycle, is how it's coming through. But in order to do that, you have to look back and see how far you have come. I feel like you're moving out of the valley. That's how it's coming through, but it feels like you're about to go through it again, which is interesting. Anyway, I'm going to read this card because it's coming through with a very positive energy today. We live in such a hustle-bustle culture, constantly busying ourselves with striving, working, and achieving, thinking we always have to be doing something to get to where we want to be. But expansion doesn't always come through action. In fact, real growth and authentic expansion manifest in the spaces in between the doing. It's time for a timeout. Give yourself a reprieve from trying and doing and hustling and achieving, and take some time to chill and replenish your own energy. Rest in the stillness of yourself and cultivate all that you have been working to become in this timeless pause. You'll be surprised to discover how much expansion you can embody once you stop trying. Cancer, yeah, it feels like a node, a timeout, not a timeout. It feels like timeless pause, where it feels like past, present, and future feel like they're overlapping in some way. A node. So it's kind of coming through with you, Cancer, that you may be actually feeling like the past is coming back in a really negative way, or that there's a cycle that's repeating, or that there's like, how do I get unstuck from this? And it's like, you are unstuck. You have been freed from it. Same message with Pisces coming through. Both of those energies are like feeling very enmeshed in a way where it's like there's maybe there's a dynamic that you're trying to free yourself from. It feels like if you have been working towards that, you are about to enter into the upswing, the peak of something. But right now you're in this energy of a pause. It feels like timeless pause is what's coming through. Like you're in that energy of the center, of the the beginning, so to speak, and the end, of course, because they're always connected, of where you can perhaps see all of the past, present, and future all unfolding at once is how it's coming through. Fire, candle, sun. That came out in the Capricorn reading, which is, of course, your opposite. But I feel like there's so much 8. This is 18. 8 is a really significant number for you. Maybe there's a Capricorn. If it's not like somebody with Capricorn, or if maybe you have Capricorn in your chart, it's emphasizing to me like the very practical things that you can take care of, perhaps, or are needing to take care of. Okay, so it says, your authentic individual expression represents the spark of life within you. This life-giving energy inside of you isn't meant to just illuminate your own life, but the lives of many. The world needs you to be as much you as you can be. Believe in who you are, in your uniqueness and your goodness, and in all the wonderful ways you express, without needing validation from anyone but yourself. When we fill our own cups by acknowledging how wonderful we are, our light shines brighter and greater and farther and wider, beyond this one little third dimension. At the same time, allow yourself to be honored and appreciated by others for all that you are. You deserve it. The line that was sticking out to me for that section, Cancer, was that not needing validation from anyone but yourself. But you do deserve that, is what's coming through. Like, you deserve to be honored and appreciated by others, but that isn't sort of the motivation that I feel like you are being asked to focus on, right? Like, it's coming through as being like validating yourself, right? Which is part of healing from codependency, and perhaps like an energy of it could be, it's anything that's not authentic to you. It's anything that's not authentic to you. And it could be something where it's like maybe you were hiding an aspect of yourself, or not allowing, I should say, not allowing an aspect of yourself to express. But I feel like there's something here about like when you bring that aspect of yourself out, it shines very brightly and others will see that. Not because like, and it's not to say that you should bring this aspect of yourself so that others can see it. It's so that you can feel validated within yourself and authentic within yourself. Like, I feel whole when I do this, or when I am like this, or when I whatever it is, I feel whole, right? That's the point, is kind of how it's coming through. There's an energy of like you prioritizing how you feel over how others might validate this aspect of yourself, right? Because it's kind of something about like maybe doing something for another person's validation. Because that could be an energy of codependency and like people pleasing and things like that. And maybe that's just not satisfying to you. It usually gets to that point where like a little bit of something is fine. Like, but if we continue to engage in that, it becomes a pattern that no longer serves, right? That's also how it's feeling like. It could be something about putting your needs second, I feel like as well with this card, there's something about your subconscious energy that is being illuminated. That is not something to fear. A subconscious energy that is illuminated. Yeah. It's not something to fear though, Cancer. Because I feel like that's where the deep acceptance comes in. Acceptance of yourself, or acceptance of an aspect of yourself that has been needing your own validation, right? It's coming through as an energy of like, there's an aspect of yourself that wants to be known by you. The desert to me also talks about an energy of solitariness, of being alone. I feel like that's not always the same as being lonely, but they are intertwined, right? Maybe you're coming out of a period of being lonely, and you're in this place of like accepting the fact that you are alone. It's because there's a difference in that. There's a difference in how that it feels, right? The feeling of being lonely or feeling of being abandoned or by yourself. It's kind of coming through with like a 5 of Pentacles, right? Like loneliness or being separate from others or that kind of thing, versus the acceptance of being alone. It's a very subtle shift, but it feels different, right? I'm alone versus I feel lonely or I feel alone. I feel like there's something like that for you, because it's like, I'm not trying to like, there's something here about like, I feel like whatever it is you're going through is coming through with this energy of despair, like 5 of Pentacles, despair. And I'm not trying to gloss over that, because that's important for you to feel, because that is coming through with like something from your subconscious is trying to make itself known to you. And it could have to do with loneliness. But you can't jump through I'm not like not glossing over the tough emotions because you don't want to feel them. Can't gloss over them, right? Because it just becomes more ingrained into a pattern that's not serving you. There's something about bringing it up into this conscious energy. Maybe there were energies that you were attaching yourself to so that you don't feel alone. Because I feel like maybe that's part of like what the validation energy is coming from. Like other people making you feel like being around other people, or perhaps a specific person for some of you, that being attached to them makes you feel less alone, right? But is that true companionship? Is that really something that you want to be manifesting from? Because it kind of feels like if you're trying to avoid the feeling of being alone, it actually makes it worse. So maybe there's an energy here of like detaching from an energy that perhaps makes you feel less alone. No. It's detaching from an energy that makes you feel less lonely. That's what it is. It makes you feel less lonely, and accepting that for a time you have to stand alone. it's different than being lonely. And you have to trust me on that. Being alone is different than being lonely. There was an energy that I feel like you were attached to. It feels past to me. An energy that you were attached to that made you feel less lonely. And it's coming through now as being like, okay, that's no longer a pattern that is working. So I'm going to stand alone for a time. Okay. Next card. Interesting though, Cancer, I feel like, so if you are in that middle place, if you are in that middle node, is how it's feeling, the beginning of this cycle was a period of being lonely. Is how it's coming through the valley. And you're in this place of being alone, feels like. Not feeling lonely, but being alone. But it kind of feels like being lonely, right? Because they're two nodes of the same cycle. And now you're going to be entering this period of being with others, it feels like. Interesting, though, that the end of this cycle, whatever it is, will be you are still standing alone. There's this energy of fear of that is how it's feel like a fear of being alone, maybe. And it feels kind of like acceptance is part of how you work through that. Accepting it. Accepting the aloneness. Okay, Cancer. So the next card you have is Land, Flower, and Moon. A lot of people confuse vulnerability with weakness, which means a lot of people get it really wrong because nothing could be further from the truth. An open heart doesn't fear pain, and an open heart doesn't need to wear armor or hide to protect itself. Allow yourself to delve deep into your vulnerability and to share it with others. Be with the pain that lives inside of you and allow it to express and to release. Cry and let the tears cleanse your spirit, knowing that the process is renewing your essence and purifying your soul. Allow others into your pain and into your emotions while welcoming theirs into your own heart. Open your heart to your tribe so that they can see the fullness of you. Be gentle with yourself, for this is a tender territory you are choosing to tread. Hold your vulnerability and others' vulnerability with grace and with respect. It takes great courage to share your feelings with others. Yeah, Cancer. It's about embracing your emotions and how you feel. And it's like, it's a very vulnerable space that comes with acceptance. Perhaps you were protecting yourself from your own emotions. Perhaps at some point you were. It doesn't have to be at this current moment. Perhaps sometime in the past you were protecting yourself from your own emotions, but you're at this place now. It feels very... Because I'm seeing this as being like I keep going like this, like a valley, but it's like a smile, right? Like painting a smile on, Cancer. That's how it's coming through. Painting a smile on, when maybe that's not how you were feeling. Yeah. Interesting. This is at the center. 62. Land, mountain, sun. Interesting, because all the center cards, so 62, 26, and 8, which is interesting. I feel like there's something, so 8 clearly is a very significant number for you. This card is about achievement. I'm going to read it because I'm not seeing how that's connecting, but hold on, let me just read it. Your aspirations and accomplishments are a gift to your tribe. As you achieve and then expand your vision to align with what you want to achieve next, and then achieve again, and so on and so forth, you're not just living giant, you're giving others permission to achieve this way too, and to expand their reality constructs as you do. Your evolution inspires their evolution, but you can only achieve greater and greater things when you are 100% authentic and you remain true to your vision. You must be in total alignment with your own unique mission to be able to assess the doorway that leads to these ever-expanding triumphs. You're being asked to step into your purpose and to allow it to take you to great heights. Do not compromise the integrity of your vision. Stay true to yourself every step of the way and allow those steps to lead you to peaks of possibility you didn't know were possible. Cancer, it feels like you're about to step into the peak. You're like on the way up, but it feels like right now you're at this period of feeling like you're back at where you started. That's how it feels. You feel like you're back where you started from a previous, the valley, right? It's like, it feels like right before you went into the valley. Excuse me. Okay. Interesting. I feel like you're releasing something. Excuse me for my allergies. It's really interesting if you look at these two, because these two cards are both, oh no, they're not. This is a land card, this is fire, right? But they both have like sort of this aquatic animal in an environment that doesn't belong, like where they don't belong is how it's coming through. And I feel like this period of time, because this is coming through with like, this is representing the valley of where you were, that you are about to step out of. Because you've accomplished something. You have completed that cycle, is how it's coming through. And you're about to step into the peak. But you can see how these energies would reflect one another, right? You started as a fish, now you're a dolphin. The valley, which is interesting, has also shifted, it feels like, from desert to mountain, but it's still not where you belong, if that makes sense. Perhaps you've gained some sort of new perspective about this environment, maybe. Like you and the environment have both shifted in some way, but it still isn't where you belong. So it's kind of like, I feel like, because it's that energy of loneliness versus being alone, this feeling of being alone where you are. So I feel like the next part of this cycle that you're in is going to be one where it's like you belong. This energy of vulnerability, of sharing, and that kind of thing. Like, it's like this, a match. The environment and you are a match. I feel like you're about to enter that. But for some reason, it feels kind of just like this energy of like the way time, how we experience time is like the only way that I can describe it. Because look at this as well, like the light that's coming through here. I feel like there was something that you were trying to materialize in this place that is not possible to materialize in this place. Or in this energy that you're in. It feels like you had to deconstruct something I feel like you were successful in deconstructing some sort of pattern, and that you're about to move into a place where it's like you're constructing, you're creating a place of belonging, it feels like, or a place where you feel like you belong. But right now, it's like this timeless pause energy of having let go of patterns that were not serving you. Just wait, Cancer. Be patient. It's like, it's a surrender to the process. Because I feel like you're going to be surprised by what comes next. Because I feel like there's almost this energy of like waiting for the shoe to drop, right? Like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Is that how the phrase goes? Like waiting for you to dip down into another valley. When I feel like that's not going to happen. It feels like you're about to go, like you're about to reach a peak. So surrender. Don't try and control what happens next. Okay. Yeah, don't try and control what happens next, Cancer, for you. Because it's going to be like you have to go with the flow of whatever is going to happen next. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.